Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Aladdin here with the Chase DA Sports Handicapping YouTube channel. And so I'm going to do a little, not recap, I would say, but the best way I could call this is, what would be the best word for this? I guess a last minute review. But I do have a new guest with me today. It is my boy Southpaw Picks. Introduce yourself.
Hey, this is Charles. I'm hosting Southpaw Picks here, a YouTube channel where we like sports handicapping, predictions, and we're looking to make you guys a lot of money this weekend.
Hell yeah. Love that. We'll jump right into this. And just to kick things off, if you did not hear already, Oliveira did miss weight. I think it was by a half a pound, but either way, still missed weight. He'll have to vacate the belt. So I don't think he'll be able to win it, but he could, he'll still be able to win the fight, of course, but he won't be able to win the belt back, if that makes sense.
So does that change your opinion on who you're picking to win? A little
Uh,
bit.
Honestly, think this the best bet in this, and I think I mentioned it in my previous video, is bet under 3 rounds or under 2.5 rounds. I think it was minus 170. Let me find it. I use Bovada, and I think there you go. Oliveira dropped in price too. He was minus 175. Now he's minus 140.
Yeah, minus 140. Wow.
So
Wow.
and they have under 2.5 rounds minus 160. So I think that's a pretty solid play.
That's what I got it at, yeah.
Because I think, like we were talking about this earlier, like he's gonna be depleted. This guy's gonna be like super, gonna be dehydrated, gonna be everything. I mean, I just don't think he'll be able to make it back up in 24 hours or a little more because he'll have a little more time. But either way, just not a good look. Really, just not a good look after what he had 10 weeks, I think, to prepare for this, which is
And
insane.
how much fight is he gonna have, right? How much fight is he gonna have when it goes tough, when it gets tough in there? Since he's not fighting for anything, right?
For real, yeah, and I also mentioned this to you in our text, but Justin, I watched his podcast. He was on the Full Send podcast, and he said this is gonna be, I think, without a doubt, my last chance at getting the belt. So he's gonna be going hard, and even be going harder now that Olivier is gonna be depleted, he's gonna be starving out there, and Justin, he has a crazy chin, so I just think if they're going to be exchanging and swinging, I think I might be trusting Justin more on the feet now.
Yeah, that's a danger factor for Oliveira, in my opinion. The feet is dangerous. He gets hit. I just don't know what you're fighting for in this moment, right? Like when this fight gets tough, like you said, it's Justin's last chance. So when it's tooth and nail, and dig deeper here. And like I said, we've seen Charles quit, even though we haven't seen it in a while. It might still be there.
Yeah, you never know. I just think staying away from choosing a side, or at least Oliveira probably is the move, and just go with under 2.5 rounds because I really think someone could go night in this fight.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna stick with Oliveira just because he has more ways to win. But that's the only play I'm gonna be on is the under 2.5, and I expect that to catch. I don't think this lasts more than 12 minutes, anyways.
Yeah, I really don't think it'll even go out of the second round. I really think someone will end it in the second round. Even the first one, it could happen. But we all good on that one? You want to move on from that? Okay, so first, I just wanted to get that immediate news out of the way. But first fight on the main card, I believe, is the Cowboy Joe Lozon fight. And
Yes.
I did mention it in my video, but I just feel like where Cowboy is at in his career and paying minus 175 for him is just like, just really sketch, man. I don't know. Like, I think he could definitely win this fight, and he has more ways to win it, and he's more active than Lozon. But man, I don't know. Trusting both these guys are old, so I don't want to call one of them old. They're both old, but I don't know. I just think I was looking at the under on this fight. I think like under 2.5 rounds was decently priced. It's just, man, betting on these old guys is so tough. What's your opinion?
Now I'm trying to fight back to Don, like when I was telling you that, like I kind of want him to win, and I seen that line. It's at minus 200 now. Last time I checked, and he looked good on the scales. Honestly, He looked in great shape. He's having his son around. It seems like there's something he's going to be fighting for. If Cowboy can even just turn back the clock for one night, he's better than Joe Lozon. It's just these results we're seeing, right? That Morono fight was scary to see. His reaction to the shots. Although the Nico Price was fairly competitive, honestly, for a 170-pound bout, I think Jozan, like you said, can come out here and be berserker and finish him in the first round. But I'm gonna ride with the Cowboy one last time thing. I think this is a setup for him. I think he has all the avenues to win. He just gotta stay safe in that first round. Do I make the play on it? No, I think the under is the best option there. And I've been hearing Joe Lozon first round is like 10-1 in some books.
You could get the fight to not complete 2 rounds, so it does not go 10 minutes, minus 120.
Minus 120?
Yeah, so,
wow.
But Joe Lozon in the first round, can I get that on my book? I think I can. Come on, where is it? Joe Lozon in the first round is plus 450. That's just from...
So it's been hammered already, eh?
Probably, yeah. And you could get him in round 1 or 2 plus 350, so like a double chance, sort of.
Yeah. And he got a lot of first round finishes.
But yeah, Joe Lozon, one thing I have noticed from watching all of his like old fights is he just comes out like a bull, and Cowboy, he sort of starts out slow. So I think if Cowboy could weather the storm, I think he could definitely win this fight. But this super sketch fight, betting on these old guys.
We can't trust him at minus 200, man.
Yeah, almost.
Like, how can
I think he was minus 200 at one point, and then he dropped back down. But either way, just suspect. I'm not gonna bet on that one.
But final prediction, you're gonna go with Lozon, or?
I'm gonna
roll Cowboy for the prediction.
Yeah, honestly, this just seems like a fight where it's like a winner stays and loser retires, or maybe both of them retires. Honestly, because it's like where these guys are at in their career. It's like honestly, it's like sort of sad watching these guys get beat up. So I'm gonna go with. I'll ride with you. I'll ride Cowboy one last time.
One last ride, man. One last ride with Cowboy. His son in the crowd, man. He can't go out
Dude, yeah, he was getting super emotional at the press conference. Yeah, I was like, that was like getting even me. I was getting emotional. I'm like, damn, Cowboy. He's like, this might be his last fight. Maybe he's like, he's got to go back out there and prove something.
And like you said, your son's in the front row. You might have to be a fast starter tonight.
For real, yeah, definitely.
A lot of Apex fights recently. But let's move on down. I'm going to go with Cowboy for the pick. And we got next here.
We got OSP versus Shogun Hua.
Another sketch ball of an event.
Another old guys, two old guys. But this one I'm much more confident in the favorite in OSP. I just really think he's going to not only win this fight, but I think he's going to win it inside the distance.
He looked good on the scale today, too. When I saw the box come out, I was a little worried.
He's had problems. He's had problems with his weight, his last few fights, for sure.
But he came in 205 on the dot, right? Didn't need the pound allowance, and Shogun looked older than yesterday, that's for sure.
Dude, Shogun looked like my grandpa, dude.
He looked older than yesterday, man. Honestly, I think it ends inside the distance. I know no two fights are the same, but I do see the same result here. I mean, if Ovens just lands a couple shots, body kick, he has a nasty body kick. Landed a couple times. I know Ovens is not a fan of getting hit. That's why he kind of throws that counter look with his eyes closed. But I think that's enough to put out Shogun here. Like you said, he tapped the strikes. He's 40 years old. I think he's coming here to collect a paycheck, man.
Dude, yeah, I think his last fight was against who was that?
Paul Craig, yeah.
Dude, yeah, Paul Craig, and he tapped the strikes, dude. That is never a good look. And you could get OSP to win inside the distance, minus 120 on Bovada, which I think is a pretty good lick. But
minus 120, yeah.
I wouldn't mess around with KO or submission, either one, because I think he could do either or. Go through his record, and he has tons of, with that Von Flue choke. They literally call it like the Von Prue choke, because he does it so many times.
He's probably physically strong enough to even Kimura Shogun at this point.
I think he could really win this fight in a variety of ways. Decision, submission, KO. I just think The only way he loses this fight is if he's his own worst enemy. Like he just doesn't fight a good game plan, or somehow Shogun catches him. So yeah, it's heavyweight, so you never know.
So I'm gonna side with you there. We're gonna ride with OSP. 39, he's getting up there, man. 25-6. All right, we got the feature prelim coming up here.
That's my first official pick though. OSP inside the distance -120. I'll be putting that on my Twitter. But are you good to move on from that?
Yes.
Okay, we'll be next fight we have Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson. Now, interesting fight here.
I agree.
Because I really think that both these guys, they're on a, what is Chandler, 2-loss losing streak, Ferguson 3-loss losing streak, but all those losses, each of those guys are to like elite level competition. So I really think that both these guys, they may be old. I think Chandler's 36, Ferguson is 38. I still think that these guys have a lot left in the gas tank, especially Chandler. And Tony, he didn't look too good in his last fight, but the guy could really take some punches, man. So I know
he rolls with shots.
The guy is crazy, and the guy is just, his mentality is awesome. He never has given up. That's one thing I've noticed in his fights is, yeah, he got. I think they said like, oh, he's lost his last 11 rounds, his last 3 fights or whatever. But I mean, the guy's still standing in there, especially the Gagey fight. He was getting just absolutely battered, and it was like 5th round they stopped it out of mercy because the guy was just getting brutalized. But you could get, I played this in a long shot play, Michael Chandler to win by decision +220.
Yes.
Because I really do think finishing Tony Ferguson might be one of the hardest things in this sport. I mean, watch his fight with Oliveira. That arm bar that was sunk in, his arm was like reversed. I've never seen anything like that.
It was tear to shreds. The knee bar Benil put him in.
Oh my god.
And he just decided, I'm gonna kick with the other leg.
Yeah, the guy he's like made of rubber or something. He just could get out of anything. And I really, like I said, finishing this guy might be one of the hardest things in mixed martial arts. So I think a good play for the value. Chandler's -400, but +220 for him to that by decision. I don't think he's gonna sub him. He is good wrestling, but I knocking him out maybe. I think he'll maybe in the first round if he does it, catch him maybe. But if it goes longer, I just think it favors Tony. And I'm gonna go with Chandler by decision. That's my official pick.
That's a good tag. I like this fight a lot. I know a lot of people online have been riding with the 1.5. I heard that's pretty good, decently priced. I think about -160 along those lines. Obviously, Michael Chandler is dynamite in the first round. But in these 2 fights, we've seen him slow down. He doesn't necessarily fight to win. And you know what? As much as Justin beat Tony's ass in that fight, if there was 30 seconds left in that second round, does that uppercut put Gaethje away?
Maybe, honestly.
I don't, he was stumbling bad. I mean, he could have jumped on him. He was saved by the bell there. And I think that's what gave Tony confidence to think, you know what? I'm just going to throw down with this kid. And then it started to go south real quick.
I think,
like that uppercut woke him up.
Yeah, Gagey, like I think I mentioned earlier, Gagey's chin is just on another level. So, I mean, that guy could get hit with a sledgehammer and barely would notice. But you could sorry to cut you off, but if you think the fight will end inside the distance, this is a pretty good bet right here. Either fighter to win in round 1 or 2, -140. So either fighter could finish within 10 minutes, and that's a decent odds right there.
I think this fight goes the distance. I like that play on Chandler +220. He just can't go for the kill because, like you said, Chandler throws hooks. He's not jabbing. Like he'll throw like 1, 2, but he's primarily throwing power hooks and
yeah.
And like you said, Tony rolls with shots. But
totally,
We
yeah.
gotta get there early before late. Sometimes when you call the downfall of fighters, you gotta be there early sometimes, right?
Totally, and
But Tony looks good, right? He looks ready for this fight.
I think he's confident at least, which I like. Yeah. So I don't think Tony's gonna get finished. I don't think he's gonna go out like a bitch, to be honest. I think the guy's pretty solid. I maybe not solid in the terms of like his wins in the last few years, but I mean the guy is just solid. He's solid. So I'm gonna go with final pick Chandler by decision.
I like that spot too. I like Chandler by decision. I mean, it's gonna be close. I think Tony's gonna have a big third round.
I honestly I just hope it's. I mean, anytime Chandler's in there, same with Tony. Honestly, there's always fireworks. So
Exactly. Yeah. So let's go into this co-main event.
okay.
How do you feel about this rematch?
So I was sort of thinking Rose inside the distance because it's 5 rounds, but I don't know. I've been watching a lot of Carla's old fights, and man, her wrestling is just crazy, crazy good. Like, I mean, just her sprawling and just the way she can get people down is just. Granted, I don't know. The last time these two fought was way back in 2014, and even then, I was noticing Rose had the striking advantage. She did look more comfortable on the feet, but I think she got a little tired. It was I think only like her like third or fourth fight or something. It was on the I think it was on the Ultimate Fighter or something, and
Yeah, I think it was like third, fourth fight. Yeah.
and third
22.
yeah third round I think she got submitted. I think she was just tired honestly, but she was winning the exchanges on the feet, and I think she'll not only do that again, but even I think she'll really be proficient on the feet. I think when it goes to the ground, though, I think she just has to be careful. Her takedown defense was pretty decent in the second Waylay fight. She got taken down a few times, but she had her own takedowns herself, though, granted. But I'm going to go with probably it's women's MMA, so it's like you want to bet it by decision, but it's like, I don't know, Rose can definitely put some lights out. So I don't know. I don't want to pick either one. So I maybe just Rose Namajunas good parlay piece, maybe throw her in your parlay, maybe work her in one of your plays, maybe her in OSP, maybe. But I don't know. I think she could win a variety of different ways.
Yeah, I agree here. You look back at the old fight. If there's a difference between that Rose, she came out with so much pressure on Carla in that first fight. She was walking forward and just swinging, throwing everything, honestly. Just high kicks, right hands, left hands. And now the reserve Rose you see is on the back foot. She's dancing, right? She's dancing. She has great footwork. She has a long jab. She's 4 inches height advantage, 2 inches in reach. I do think Carla will get takedowns. We can't deny that. But Carla has not fought in a fourth round, ever.
Wow.
She's never fought in the championship round.
Wow. Okay.
So she's good at getting 2 out of 3. And I do believe she might get 2 rounds here. But I do feel like her style, the fact that Rose is a crowd favorite, I feel like even in a close fight, she might get robbed. Honestly. In a close fight, she might get robbed here. And I do think Rose is good enough to fight up the takedowns, like you said. She did a decent job against Weili. She did a good job against Andrade in the second fight.
I agree. Yeah.
Andrade is super strong. Like, she picked up Caitlin Chukagian and threw her down. A much bigger, longer fighter. I like Rose here, and I don't know if she gets the finish. I feel like she could. You know, Carla's wedding is a week from now. I can't imagine she's going to want to take a beating for 25 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got a wedding coming up.
Yeah, you got all the photos coming up. You got a black eye and everything.
Like, come on, black eye, busted face, and she does swell bad. Like, Carla swells when she gets hit. And, that close fight with Michelle Waterson, I did have a play on her there. But that was very uncomfortable for the Karate Hottie, who, to me, has not looked good at all in the last few years. I'm going to say Rose wins 3 out of these 5 rounds. And that's all she needs here.
For sure.
I think Carla will get the takedown. I think it will be interesting. Carla's no scrub. But like I said, 8 years in advance, this version of Rose, I think she's right. It's not a matter of who the best strawweight is. It's a matter of, is she the greatest strawweight?
Yeah.
Right? She's up against herself, right?
Yeah, I think she gets this done, most likely by decision. But moving on to the last fight, I just want to touch on it really briefly. It's just the Canelo fight.
Yes, sir.
And honestly, I really do think that he will come through. And let me just pull up the odds real quick.
You think he beats Bivol? Or Bivol, how you say it?
Bivol? Yeah, I think he beats him. Yeah, I was.
This is up a weight class, right?
Yeah, this is light heavyweight, so I think it's different than UFC light heavyweight. I think is like 170 in boxing,
Yeah,
and
because the highest Canelo fought is 168, right?
I believe so. Yeah, but it's so close anyway. I think they call that like super middleweight 168. I think, dude, boxing has like a million different belts, 20 different weight classes. It's crazy, but they have.
That's watered down, man.
Yeah, I agree. But Canelo, they had him at minus 400 to open up at. Now he's minus 600. And
Yeah.
I think the best play for this fight by far is it's down here somewhere. A million odds on it is uh, Canelo to win by decision. It's actually dropped odds. It's minus 135 now.
Yeah, because I thought it minus 150 earlier in the week.
Yeah, I saw it. It's high as almost like minus 200, so it's dropping for sure. And Beevil, I think if you, I already did it already because I have Canelo, I think, in 4 separate plays to close out some
Yeah.
parlays. If you need to hedge out, bet Beevil by decision. I mean, he's won his last 6 fights by decision, and Canelo has never been knocked out before. I don't even think he's been knocked down before.
No, no, no. Not off memory, that's for sure.
Maybe like slipped or something, but they don't count
Not
those.
in the pay-per-view era.
Yeah, yeah, maybe like like 20 years ago or something. But I think the best play is Canelo by decision minus 136. They literally have the fight to go the distance minus 250. Yes, so yeah, I think it will just be a slow chess match. I don't even think anyone will get knocked down, to be honest. But that's my opinion.
I think Canelo takes the power in this weight class.
I don't know. I think his own power is insane, and this Beevil guy is pretty defensive. He's touch and go, so I think this guy will. I think he'll win a few rounds. I mentioned in my last video he'll win probably like 2, maybe 3 rounds because he.
Early ones, you think?
Yeah, I think he'll probably win the earlier ones because I've noticed Beevil in his last 2 fights in the championship rounds, he was getting really tired. The 10 through 12, he was getting really, really tired. So I think if Canelo could drag him to deep waters, especially in those late rounds, he could win a good decision. And it's in Vegas, so I think they'll Cinco de Mayo was 2 days ago. I think they're gonna hook him up if it's close. They'll give him the decision.
Man, I'd hate to fight Canelo being smaller than me because the body is just so available.
For real, yeah, and his body shots, like if you ever seen like guys like they'll put on like those chest mat things like they use in like practice, and guys like are like crumpling over and like keeling over when he hits them. It's crazy.
And now you're the taller guy in this situation.
Yeah, I'm 6'2". He would just punch me in the liver once and knock me over. But
You ready to? You want to do the prelim breakdown? You said as well, or?
I'll probably just end my video right now, but I'll do a prelim breakdown right now. But let me just do a cutoff for my video. Thank you guys so much for my last video. I really appreciate. I think I got like 5 new subscribers, so thank you to everyone who newly subscribed, and peace out.